Those of you that watch the channel know my favorite red wine grape is Sangiovese, and while it probably originates from Emilia-Romagna, its spiritual home is Tuscany. And for me, some of the best expressions come from Chianti Classico. One of the most viewed blind tasting videos on the channel is all about Chianti Classico, especially the 2019 vintage, and I haven't done a video in a while, so I thought, hey, I'm going to revisit the region because I have some new vintages here today. Chianti Classico is not to be confused with Chianti, which is a bigger appellation. The thing that separates Chianti Classico is looking for this little rooster on the label. Chianti Classico sits south of Florence, and it spreads across 9 different communes, or 9 different villages. It's a higher elevation region. Some of the vineyards can go up to 600 meters, so close to 2,000 feet. In fact, when you're driving through the undulating hills, mountains, it looks almost quasi-alpine, especially when you get to the higher altitudes. Chianti Classicos can be broken into Chianti Classico Annata, which is the standard Chianti Classicos. They need to be made of at least 80% Sangiovese, and they have to be aged for at least 12 months after the harvest before being released. Next up, you have Reservas, and then finally Gran Seleziones. Today, I'm going to focus on Chianti Classico Annatas, the basic Chianti Classicos. For me, some of the best red wine values in the world today. If I'm at a restaurant and I want to order a dependable, food-friendly red wine, Chianti Classico is always my go-to. These wines here today all come in under $35. A lot of times when you're in Italy, in Tuscany, you can see some of these wines for under 20 euros. I fell in love with Sangiovese when I was backpacking through Europe in my second year of graduate school. I remember sitting in the walled city of Lucca ordering a liter of Sangiovese and just smelling it. That's when I really fell in love with wine. I mean, to a deep, deep level. I remember my 2 friends were looking at me like I'm crazy. My palate has never waned. I love Chianti Classico because I'm always looking for that sour cherry, those earthy notes, which Chianti Classico gives me. Usually they also have this tangerine peel acidity, and they have these wonderful tannins that go great with food. Tomato-based pasta, pizza, and Chianti Classico, for me, is like heaven on earth. In fact, after I shoot this video, I'm going to take one of them, and I'm going to enjoy it with some pizza. But without further ado, let's taste some wines. I'm going to taste out of my Riedel Pinot Noir performance glass. Yes, I know this is meant for Pinot Noir, Burgundy. I think Sangiovese, it's great for Nebbiolo too. Grapes that have really unique aromas. A lot of nuances. I think that's why this big bowl glass is going to do great. Wine number 1 is a little bit darker. Sangiovese is a grape that actually doesn't have a lot of color, which is fine with me. You can't drink color. In Chianti Classico, you can blend local grapes like Colorino, Momolo, Cagneolo. You can also blend Merlot, Cabernet, Syrah, which I'm fine with. I don't care. A lot of purists, Italian purists, say they hate that. They want their Chianti Classicos to be 100% Sangiovese or have the native varieties in them. One that I really enjoy, recommend, Volpaia, has Merlot blended into it. I don't have it here in the lineup, but it's something that I always recommend. Let's start out with wine 1. Got the sour cherryness I love. Sour cherry. Chianti Classicos can be super earthy and rustic, or they can be a little fruitier, but they always have the earthy component. This tends to be more on the fruity spectrum, but it does have an earthy component to it. Got a little bit of pepper. There's some nuance here. Oh man, this is like Kirsch sour cherry. Oh, that's what I love. Let's go. Dense, richer style. I think this is a Chianti Classico a lot of people are going to like. Sometimes Chianti Classicos can be too sharp for a lot of people with the high acidity and the tannins. This has enough fruit to cover that up, so it is plusher. It does have tannin, though. This is super good. By the way, the wines I have here are 2020 and 2021 vintages. 19 was a vintage I love. I have tasted some 21s out of Tuscany I thought have been phenomenal. I have tasted some of these wines past vintages. I haven't tasted these vintages. As always, I Coravin them and had somebody mix them up for me. You'll see 20s, 21s, 22s, and even 23s on the market now. However, with consumption of wine going down a little bit worldwide, you can see a backup of vintages, and you'll still see some 20s on the shelves. And some producers hold back the wines a little bit longer. That's a really nice start. That's just classic Chianti. I mean, I would love to be sitting in Tuscany, having some bistecca. Oh, man, love these wines. Let's move on to 2. 2 is a little earthier than 1. 1 was plush and up front in your face. 2, there's much more nuance here. Lighter in color. Sour cherry it is. It's a little bit more perfumed. It's got earth. This is more... I know they hate to say it in Tuscany, but I do feel like Chianti Classico can be a little bit Burgundian, and that's what this is right here. Oh, real pretty. Subtle, not as in your face as wine one. I think a lot of people are going to prefer wine one because it's a little plusher. Wine two has more acidity. It's got more nuance. It's kind of the Chianti Classico that I want to drink. That's really nice. Really nice. Let's move on to wine number three. Man, I love Sangiovese so much because it offers drinkability now, but yet it has nuances and it can age. I even did a video a while back on Chianti Classico Reserva, which offer terrific value because they are aged a little bit when you get them. Wine 3 has a lot of character. 3 is my favorite so far. Sour cherry fruit. But it's got perfume. This just smells like Tuscany in the glass. If you've ever been to Tuscany, if you ever had Tuscan wines have that certain Tuscanness, and that's what this one has. I just love it. A tad bit of rusticity, not a ton, just a little bit. Subtle power on the back end, that's really good. Loving it today, loving it. 4 has a little bit of reduction, so there's a little bit of like this eggshell aroma. Gonna shake it out here a little bit. The sour cherry stuff does come out. Again, once I shake it out, this also is more quote-unquote Burgundian in style. A lot of earthy notes along with the sour cherry and even raspberry flavors. The raspberry that you get with Pinot Noir. This is a wine you really, really have to shake it out, pay attention to. I like this a lot. I think all like 3 and 1, I would love to drink with food, with pizza. I think 2 and 4, I would like to drink on their own, especially 4, because there's a lot of subtleties here, a lot of things that you might miss if you're not paying attention. 1 is more plush, more to everybody's, the general masses palate. Wine 3 is pure Tuscany, and then 2 and 4 are more Burgundy in style. Yeah, I know I hate the Tuscans. I hate when wine people say that, but that's what it kind of reminds me of. There is a clear hierarchy here. Let's get to the reveal. If you like this content, I would like you to consider becoming a channel member. I have several tiers, but in the Grand Reserve tier, I have a monthly live hangout tasting where we talk shop, share wines. It's really difficult to find family and friends that are into wine like you and I are, and that's what this community is. There are perks for other members too, and it supports the work I do here, so thank you. I was pumped to shoot this as the first video I'm actually shooting with my new B cam, my second camera, and it doesn't have a record limit, so I'm not stressed out about anything. When I'm doing these videos, I have to manage everything. The microphone, the lighting, obviously the content, and the second camera. I used to have a camera that would run out of battery quick and would stress me out, and I'd have to stop and re-record, but okay, you don't care about that. You just want to see what the wines are. Let's start out with wine number 1. Plusher, the fruitier tannins, had a long finish. This is the kind of wine that I think a lot of people are going to enjoy. When I go to Tuscany, a lot of times I'm really surprised when I hear from Americans especially that don't really like the wines sometimes because the tannins, the acidity can be too aggressive. 90 plus points. This is the plushest. And if that's what you want, I say go for it. It's all for you. This is the Fattoria Carpenete Fantopino. This is the Fantopino Chianti Classico 2021. This comes in at $30. Again, plush, nice. I don't know what the actual blend is. I couldn't find that on the website. If this has maybe something like Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon blended into it. It was a little bit darker. Again, this is for people that want that fruitier plush style. I wonder if I know what commune this is made in. This is in the commune of Castelnuovo Berendenga, where Felsina is a more famous producer that you'll see. That commune is the lowest out of Chianti Classico. Some of the vineyards are at 200 meters. We're like talking about 650 feet. The Chianti Classicos there tend to be a little bit bigger, plusher. No surprise. Okay, a couple of great restaurants there with Michelin stars that I've eaten at too. Let's go with number 2, subtle Burgundy style, perfumed. I thought this was super good. 91 points. 91 points. So on, you got to pay attention to. Very subtle. This is the Podere Capaccia Chianti Classico 2020. Comes in at $29. I think this is in Canada. I don't know if this is in the USA yet. This is from Rada, a higher elevation Comune. I love that Comune. It's probably my favorite in Chianti Classico, more alpine. A lot of perfume in the wines. Again, that's why I liked it. Remember, I said you had to pay attention to it. Excellent wine. I know that this is a historic property that took a hiatus, and now they're kind of rebranded and relaunching the product. And they have a new winemaker at the helm. I can't remember if she's American or Canadian, Allison. Very nice wine. Number 4, also Burgundy style. Had a lot of raspberry flavors that I associate with Pinot Noir. That's what I was saying. It's just 2 and 4 were Burgundy style. I like them a lot. Let's take a look. Producer that is renowned for having Burgundy style Chianti Classico. This is the Isole e Olena Chianti Classico 2020. This comes in at $36. I do not know the blend of this. Oh no, this is Isole e Olena is one of the rare producers that puts a little bit of Syrah in the Chianti Classico. They even make 100% Syrah, which I've had before, aged extraordinary. They're behind the great Super Tuscan named Ceparello, which is 100% Sangiovese. Ceparello, we're going well over $100. If you want to get the house style, I think the Chianti Classico is great at $36. I highly recommend that. That's delicious. Isole e Olena is named after the 2 hamlets, Isole and Olena. They're southwest of Panzano, where Fontodi is. I don't know where they get the fruit from the Chianti Classico, but it is a great estate. All right, the top wine. I gave 93 points, and this was just pure Tuscany in the glass. And I'm surprised, because this is a wine that's fairly well distributed, and you'll be able to get. This is, I know that a lot of people complain on the channel that sometimes you can't get the wines. I put all the wines in the description box. You can copy and paste them to try to find shops near you. This is the Ricasoli Brolio Chianti Classico 2021. This is 95% Sangiovese, 5% Polorino. This comes in at $25. The Ricasoli family is very well known in Tuscany. This is an affordable, very good expression of Chianti Classico. Again, I don't know the exact commune where they get the fruit from, but I know that wine is phenomenal. Really, this just takes me back to Tuscany, and that's the magic of wine. So tell me, do you love Chianti Classico? Do you love Sangiovese as much as I do? Have you tasted any of these wines? I'd love to hear. Drop it in the comments below.